SpaceX aims to raise $75 billion at a $1.75 trillion valuation by deploying orbital data centers, a tech leap that could reshape cloud infrastructure forever. Data centers on Earth face growing opposition and massive energy costs. Moving them to orbit could slash expenses and bypass social resistance instantly. Strictly VC's 2026 San Francisco event highlights emerging space tech trends, including the race to launch orbital data centers as a new frontier for cloud computing. Elon Musk's vision includes integrating orbital data centers with Starlink satellites, creating a global, low latency network that could generate billions in recurring revenue. Deploying orbital data centers demands solving complex engineering and physics challenges, but the payoff could replace billions spent on terrestrial infrastructure. SpaceX's orbital data centers aim to bypass Earth's social resistance, relocating massive infrastructure into orbit to save billions in land and regulatory costs annually. Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin also pursues orbital data centers, betting on space-based infrastructure to solve Earth's data crunch and environmental pushback. Visualize engineers configuring satellite arrays with precision, deploying orbital servers that operate autonomously, cutting terrestrial data center costs by up to $500 million yearly. Elon Musk's Starlink network will integrate with these orbital data centers, creating a seamless global cloud that boosts speed and cuts latency dramatically. NASA's collaboration on orbital infrastructure provides critical research and funding, accelerating the timeline for commercial space-based data centers to launch by 2028. Orbital data centers could slash latency by up to 70% for global internet users, optimizing real-time applications like gaming and financial trading worldwide. Tim Fernholz, a leading space tech journalist, broke down the physics challenges behind orbital data centers, highlighting thermal management as a critical hurdle. The Kennedy Space Center in Florida remains a pivotal launch site, supporting multiple orbital data center missions and reducing deployment costs by millions per launch. Deploying orbital data centers demands flawless satellite constellation coordination, ensuring uninterrupted power and data relay through automated orbital adjustments. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket offers heavy lift capabilities crucial for deploying large orbital data center modules, cutting deployment time by 30% compared to older rockets. Kirsten Korosek, a top TechCrunch journalist, explains how orbital data centers face unique physics and orbital mechanics challenges unlike any Earth-based infrastructure. Visualize engineers analyzing orbital trajectories on multiple screens, configuring satellite arrays with precision to optimize data center uptime and reduce signal interference. Sean O'Kane highlights that social opposition to terrestrial data centers drives companies like SpaceX to pursue space-based solutions despite the steep engineering hurdles. The Kennedy Space Center in Florida remains a critical launch site, supporting heavy-lift rockets essential for deploying orbital data center infrastructure. Imagine a clean desk setup with multiple monitors displaying real-time satellite telemetry and data center performance metrics, enabling instant optimization decisions. Kirsten Korosek, a TechCrunch journalist, highlights how orbital data centers face physics and orbital mechanics challenges that only elite engineers can solve efficiently. Sean O'Kane points out that the social resistance to terrestrial data centers is so strong, orbital solutions might be easier to deploy than fighting local regulations. Visualize a sleek control room with engineers monitoring real-time orbital data center performance, optimizing network traffic, and automating satellite maintenance remotely. Tim Fernholz, a leading space tech writer, breaks down the physics constraints that make orbital data centers a massive engineering puzzle worth billions. SpaceX's confidential IPO filing reveals plans to raise $75 billion, betting heavily on orbital data centers to justify a $1.75 trillion valuation by 2028. Visualize a high-tech orbital manufacturing bay assembling modular data center units with robotic arms under zero-gravity conditions, optimizing construction speed and precision. Elon Musk's SpaceX plans to leverage Starship's heavy lift capacity to deploy these modular data centers in a low Earth orbit, cutting launch costs by over 40%. The Vandenberg Space Force Base in California serves as a critical launch site for SpaceX's orbital data center missions, enabling rapid deployment cycles every few weeks. Picture a nighttime control hub with engineers analyzing real-time telemetry streams from orbital data centers, optimizing server loads and energy consumption remotely. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket complements SpaceX's efforts by offering alternative launch windows, increasing orbital data center deployment frequency by 30% annually. Sean O'Kane highlights that the shift to orbital data centers reflects a strategic move to bypass increasing terrestrial data center opposition. Visualize a high-altitude balloon launch, symbolizing the intermediate step between Earth and orbit for data relay and testing new infrastructure. Engineers configure advanced AI-driven thermal management systems to optimize cooling in orbital data centers, cutting energy costs by 30%. Picture a futuristic orbital command deck with holographic displays tracking satellite health and data flow in real time, ensuring zero downtime. Orbital data centers promise to unlock new revenue streams by enabling ultra-low latency cloud gaming, projected to generate $2 billion annually by 2028. Orbital data centers could reduce energy costs by up to 40% by harnessing solar power deploy AI-driven predictive maintenance on orbiting servers to cut downtime by 70%, optimizing uptime without costly physical repairs or human intervention. Integrate orbital data centers with 5G and 6G ground networks to slash latency below 5 milliseconds, unlocking new markets in real-time gaming and finance. The fastest adopters will monetize orbital data centers by launching edge computing services charging premium rates, generating $10,000 monthly per client node. Drop a comment with the tool you're going to try first, and subscribe next week. I'm revealing something even bigger. Link to everything mentioned is in the description.